This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Summer is here, which means we all want to look and feel our best. A GLP-1 may be right for you. Visit OrderlyMeds.com to learn more about which GLP-1 you could be eligible for. Getting started is fast, easy, and happens virtually through telemedicine from licensed professionals. Check it out for yourself. Go to OrderlyMeds.com/podcast. That's OrderlyMeds.com/podcast. Taking care of yourself feels great. Compounded medications are not FDA approved. Eligibility required and determined by a licensed provider. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
Did you buy an undersized ultralight backpack that doesn't fit everything? Or is your pack just too heavy at the trailhead? Some things you just learn from experience. Stephen Smith and I have 8 backpacking secrets it took us years to learn. Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters podcast. We are tips and tales with a sense of humor. This episode is brought to you by Enlightened Equipment, the not-so-secret ultralight brand. Check them out at enlightenedequipment.com. With me today is the #1 outdoor YouTuber in the world, Stephen Smith. How's it going?
In the world?
Maybe the universe.
I am the YouTuber, right?
The #1. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. I was telling you yesterday, that's what people come up and they say, are you the YouTuber? And I'm like, yeah, the one and only YouTuber.
Yeah, the guy with the beard, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, the real beard.
Yeah. One of the first times he was on, we had somebody accuse him of having a fake beard, so he was like yanking on it. Yeah. But we're in your studio now. This is like an honor to be down here. For those who don't know, like I was actually like stepping on Big Agnes tents and piles of Zpacks duplexes, just like he just has gear littered everywhere because that's what the #1 YouTuber does, right?
Yeah. I just had to tidy up a little bit for you to come over, but it's okay.
All right. So we got an episode. It took us years to learn these backpacking secrets. This is based on a video you put out last year. So we've got these secrets that just kind of from our experience, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you got 4 of those?
4 of them? Four secrets?
You had like 7 or 8 in the video, so I just...
Yeah, sure. You're going to bring them up, right?
I rewatched...
Do I have to remember what they are?
I rewatched the video, and I took notes, and I gave it to him. I'm like, this is what you said, and you just got to pick 4 of these. How hard is that? Come on.
Oh, so I'm supposed to know this ahead of time.
You can just read off the sheet. I printed a sheet for you. Oh, my gosh. Okay,
right.
So we got 4 of those. And then also, I'm going to pitch Stephen on 4 YouTube ideas that I think he should make, and he's going to evaluate whether those are something he would actually do.
I feel like I got to study for the test now.
Okay, well, I don't even think you just listened to what I just said right there. I think you're not. I think you're focused on these 4 ideas. Before we get to that, though, one of the recent videos you put out was on quicksand.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who haven't seen it, can you give us a quick recap? Like, what was the video about?
It was about quicksand.
Awesome.
Yeah. Quicksand is really interesting. And I got interested in this because there was a guy, Austin, I think his last name is Dirks, or I think it's Dirks. Okay. There's a guy named Austin, lives in western Colorado, and he was backpacking in Arches National Park last December, got stuck in quicksand, had to be rescued. Like search and rescue had to come out. Park ranger came out, threw him a shovel, couldn't dig himself out. Right. Search and rescue came out with like ladders and all kinds of different stuff and had to dig him out of there. And from our childhood, I'm assuming you're about the same age as me. So from our childhood, I remember quicksand being everywhere. Like every TV show, every cartoon, everything that I saw talked about quicksand. And then now you never hear about quicksand anymore. And it was almost in this realm where you're like, is quicksand even real, And so hearing that someone had gotten stuck in quicksand and that they were on a backpacking trip, I was like, this is a perfect video for me. And so I went down this deep rabbit hole studying quicksand and found out all kinds of cool stuff about quicksand, including that quicksand is a non-Newtonian fluid like oobleck, but it's actually the opposite of oobleck. Oobleck is a shear thickening fluid, meaning the more force you put on it, the thicker it gets. That's why you can walk on oobleck if you know what oobleck is.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what oobleck is?
I mean, I know from your video.
Did you watch the video?
I learned all sorts of vocabulary words in your video, but I don't know that I knew that ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, so like oobleck is like something, I think the word actually came from, or the name came from Dr. Seuss. And so he talked about oobleck in one of his books.
Okay.
And then people started making oobleck out of, is it cornstarch? I think it's cornstarch is what it's made out of. I can't remember. I've got a big box of cornstarch around here somewhere for making oobleck. But, and so it's like something that children will make, you know, like in the summertime when you've got your kids home from school and you're like, what am I going to do with these kids? You make some oobleck and you let them play with it. And you can like walk on it, you know, and
right.
stuff like
Well,
that.
yeah. If you have I don't know, you have your own like science lab that you're doing all that stuff in, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can just make it in your kitchen, you know. Okay. Just get a bowl, mix up some cornstarch and some water, and
you can't walk on a bowl. You can't have kids walking on the bowl. You said like your kids are gonna walk on it. Like you gotta have it.
All right. So then you get like a Tupperware container or something like that. All right. But anyway, so that's shear thickening, and that's what people think quicksand is, but it is not. It is a shear thinning fluid. Meaning that it...
Wait, are you going to give away the whole video right here? Are you giving away...
No, this is just the first half.
You got to make them want to watch the video. You got to entice them.
All right, that's all I'm going to tell you.
Because I want to take this a different direction. There's two things that like spark some thoughts. Because you mentioned about how like we have this fear of quicksand. And by the way, when we talk about packing your fears for backpacking, I don't think anybody ever brings up quicksand. Like nobody's really concerned about that nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's afraid of quicksand anymore.
Right. So, but my thought was like, yeah, why do we have that fear? Is this just like a villain that was created by the boomer generation that was just like, well, we'll just kind of recycle this villain through various episodes of, you know, TV shows or whatever? Or is there something deeper going on here? Is this something where like the boomer generation was really focused on just creating the sense of fear of things that like are surrounding us, and they just thought that was appropriate and fun?
I don't know. I think it was just, you know, I mean, like in a movie, in a story, you got to have conflict,
right?
And you know, and so it was an easy thing to put some danger in the story.
Okay,
you know?
so you think digging to? I'm thinking like you know, you got the boogeyman. My parents said like if you don't fall asleep, like the Sandman's gonna come and like sprinkle the like dust on your eyes. That's what your eye crispies are. Like it's just like generating fear. Yeah, for sure. And so I don't know if like that's it. And then I think about the modern day villains, like we have, you know, like Thanos. Isn't he just like a mathematician who's just like, well, mathematically we can't all survive on the resources that we're given out by the universe, so we just have to make people like turn into these like, you know, the black dust kind of thing.
A little more than a mathmatician, I would think, but yeah.
But that's his line of reasoning, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm just doing a contrast. Okay, probably taking too deep. Other thing that I thought was like, if you're really gonna go with the quicksand, like you created quicksand essentially.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some sort of temptation for you to go out to Utah, bring a search and rescue team, and just be like, look, I just want to see what this is really like, and then just dive in and then see if you can get out. And if you can't get out, then they're there to rescue you.
Okay, so I actually have a fear being a YouTuber that I'm going to get in some sort of situation where I need to be rescued.
Right.
And the search and rescue people are going to be like, these YouTubers, I mean, they're out here doing this stuff. They have no business doing it. And we got to come out here and spend our time, risk our lives, our resources, and rescue these guys. So I'm actually pretty cautious about stuff like that because I don't want to be that guy.
But if you're paying them like you're paying them up front for their time, maybe you're hiring them like off the clock.
That sounds really expensive, you know. So
I don't know how much they don't think they make a whole lot of money. There's a lot of volunteers out there too.
I mean, imagine being a search and rescue person though, and some YouTuber calls you like, "Hey, can I go get stuck in quicksand? You guys pull me out." I mean, what are you gonna think?
I'd be like, if you pay me enough, yeah, this would be fun. Can I be on your YouTube videos? What I'd say.
No, so I did think about it, and I actually was like a couple weeks before I filmed that video, I was in Coyote Gulch in Utah, which does have quicksand in it. And I actually think I found some quicksand, but I did not understand quicksand the way that I do now, like post video. And so like, I think I could have gone and gotten stuck in that quicksand, but I don't know. It just felt a little safer to do it, you know, in my garage.
No,
to make
it's
some
safer.
quicksand.
That's just me. I don't know. I'm on a first name basis with like Yosemite Search and Rescue, so for me, this is like not a big deal.
On a first name, but I mean, you gotten lost that many times, huh?
I've called them twice, and then we had them on the show. So
yeah.
But I have got not lost. Yeah, more just in serious danger. That's probably worse than lost.
Stupid YouTubers.
It was before that time. All right, so check out that video. I'll have that linked to the show description. Really good. I actually really enjoyed that, and I found
that.
Yeah, I found it fascinating. A couple things I found fascinating was when you created your own quicksand, like how you were getting stuck was fascinating, but then also you're like hack for getting out was really interesting. I was like, oh, that's, I gotta want to get away, but I thought.
And so can we talk about this for a second? Because I actually came up with another way to get out, but had already gotten rid of the quicksand, and so could not test it. And so this
yes, you can just go to Utah.
I can go to Utah. Yeah, well,
part 2,
and then it fails.
Video part 2.
But so I mean, like the problem with quicksand is that like there's suction down in there, right? And so like as you're trying to pull up your leg, like there's just no way for air to get down there, and so it just creates a suction.
Right.
And so my thought was like if you got like a camelback or something like that, pull the straw out of the camelback, shove that straw down along your leg, and then blow into it, and then you're introducing air below your foot. And you should be able to just pull your foot up out of the quicksand.
Okay.
I actually think that would work better than the hack that I had in the video, but didn't think of it until
afterwards.
After, yeah. And so I'm really upset about that. I got to do it again.
Do you still hike with a camelback?
I do. So it's not a camelback. So I don't have a camelback. I've got a water bottle, but I have a straw adapter that turns my water bottle into a hydration reservoir.
Okay. All right. Bible verse of the episode is Proverbs 7:7, and I have seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youths a young man lacking sense, which is kind of what we're getting at today. So what do you think was the...
Yeah, this guy on here that lacks sense, so...
Yeah, like we're going to talk about our old selves lacking sense, and now we're, of course, wise and full of sense. So what do you think was your most foolish mistake in your early backpacking days?
You mentioned before we started recording that there was a story that I told, and I have no idea. You wouldn't tell me what story it was, but I think it might have been...
First time you were on the show, yeah.
I think it might have been this story, because this is actually one of my favorite stories to tell, but it was a really foolish thing to do. And so I was backpacking with my daughter. She was maybe 12 at the time. My oldest daughter, she's 25 now, but she was 12 at the time, and we were backpacking. We did like a pack and paddle trip. Is this a story?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It's a favorite story.
Yeah. So we did this pack and paddle. I won't tell the whole story because this is a long story, but we did this pack and paddle trip where we had the kayaks, went down the river in the kayaks, ditched them in the woods, and we were going to hike back to our car, but we were on the opposite side of the river from where we started. So trails on the opposite side of the river from where we started. And so we got to cross the river when we get back, and the river flooded. And while we were on the trail, the river flooded, and we could not get back across. And I just think it was, eventually we had to get a ranger to help us.
No, this is the best part. Wait, talk about the ranger. The ranger is the best character in the story right
here. So do you want me to just tell the story again?
Yeah, tell the story.
Okay,
I love the ranger part.
Okay, so we hike back on the wrong side of the river, and I have my 12-year-old daughter with me, and I'm just like, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get my family safe back across the river?
Right.
We came busting out of the woods onto a tributary. And I could see that the river was flooded, and I had a good sense that it was going to be because of all the rain that we had gotten. And I look, and there's a ranger that is pulling away, and so I go running through the woods to try to to get over to where he can see me, and I'm just like bashing through branches and all kinds of stuff, and I come out on the banks of the river, and I'm waving my arms like this to try to get him, and he's already turned away from me, and so he can only see me in his rearview mirror, and I see his brake lights come on. Ooh. And he gets out of the car, and I'm like, okay, like we're going to be okay. And he yells at me, "What are you doing over there?" and we hiked up from Orville or whatever, and what is that? This is a TV show, but you know what I mean, right? So we hiked up from Stephenville, and he's like, "From Stevensville?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's like 2 days away." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean, like we've been out for a while." He's like, "How long you been out?" And I mean, we've been out 4 days. 4 days. And so this
is a great way. He's just appalled at everything you're saying, just questioning everything.
How are you going to get across? I said, "I don't know." "You don't know?" And so then when I tell him that, like I see his shoulders just like sink, like noticeably sink. And I mean, like we're like across a river, like yelling at each other. And he's like kicking rocks. Like I can just tell that he's mad at the whole situation. And he says, "I'm going to go get a boat. It's going to take me an hour. Don't you go anywhere, because if you go somewhere, I got to come find you." And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, I want to get across the river. Like my car's over there, all this kind of stuff. And so he leaves to go get a boat, and we sit there, and it's me and my daughter. We're soaking wet because it's been raining the whole time. There's mosquitoes and ticks, all that kind of stuff. And we're just sitting there, and an hour comes and goes, and the ranger doesn't come back, And so I'm like, well, what do I do if the ranger doesn't come back?
Right.
And eventually some guy pulls up to, where the ranger was, and he's got a boat, and he's backing the boat into the river, and he looks over at me, and just kind of looks at me for a minute, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like just waiting for the ranger.
Right.
And then he starts, messing with his boat, whatever, getting it ready. And then he looks back over at me. And then he like unloads the boats, gets in the water, and his wife takes the truck up the river. And he looks up at me and he says, "You need a cross?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, yeah, I actually do." And he's like, "You want me to bring you a cross?" So I'm like, "Yeah," because at this point I'm like, is the ranger even coming back? Yeah, he's coming back, right. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll get you." So he fires up the engine, comes across, we get in the boat, brings us across. I try to give him some money. He's like, no. It's fine. Right. And so then we start hiking up to our car, like, I don't know, maybe 100 yards to where our car's parked. And here comes the ranger pulling a boat. And he rolls down the window and he says, "Well, I see you got a cross." And he lectures me for probably a good 30 minutes.
What?
Yeah, because and I don't disagree with him. I mean, there are things that probably could have been done. But I probably should have, surely I checked the weather. I mean, I don't know. But so there was historic flooding that weekend. And so even if I had checked the weather, because I can't remember if I did or not, even if I checked the weather, there might not have been anything I could do. But I think just being in the situation, there's something about the me of today that however many years ago that was now, probably 15 years ago now. Right. The me of today would probably not get into that situation. Okay. And so
if there's risk of, like, you're in a flood zone, there's a risk of heavy rains, whether it's going to be the storm of the century or not, you're like, we're just going to pass on that trip.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not even that, because I'm not sure that I could have predicted any of that, with the weather or anything like that. I think it's the crossing to begin with, like trying to cross a river with my 12-year-old daughter. I might do that, like if you and I went out, like I might be like, yeah, we're crossing the river, and just not tell you about it, But surprise. But having my 12-year-old daughter there,
it's different.
And I mean. Okay. I think that's different. I probably wouldn't have done that again. Yeah. So
it's tough because I check the weather pretty well, and people are hypersensitive to the weather. Like if we're doing a trip, typically 2 months out, people are like, "Yeah, so what's the weather going to be like?" Oh, I don't know. It's 2 months out. Like you can check on the NPS website depending upon where you're looking, but in the end, I don't know. There's some areas that are reliable weather reports, but like in the Rockies, like who knows? Like it could be horrific, like they're saying. Or blue skies. So
very unpredictable.
Right. So, okay. All right. Well, appreciate you sharing the story, man. That's I just like the ranger's my favorite part. So
it's a good story.
I didn't know about the lecture though. That part was new.
Yeah, no, he did. He lectured, and I can't remember what he said. I probly tuned him out at one point because I'm just like,
all right, I get it.
It's done now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it again. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway. All right. So. Along those lines, we got more backpacking secrets that it took us years to learn. All right, first one, Steven, what you got?
Okay, so pack size. Pack size versus your torso size versus your t-shirt size. And so a lot of people, I don't know that they realize that backpacks come in different sizes. Excuse me.
You said torso size versus t-shirt size. Yeah. Are you suggesting that people are buying backpacks where they're like, well, I'm a size large, so then I'm a size large backpack, or
I think
XL.
so. If people, obviously there's experienced people that know how backpack sizing works.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just like go onto a website and you see that there's different sizes, and you don't know anything about a backpack. Yeah, you're probably going to be like, well, I mean, I wear a size large t-shirt. I guess I'm a size large backpack. But that is not the case with a lot of backpacks. And so your torso, a backpack size, so a large indicates how long your torso is, how long your spinal cord basically is. Right. And a lot of people don't realize that is the key to a comfortable backpack, is making sure that it fits properly on your torso. And so I've got a friend of mine that recently contacted me and was having a hard time making his backpack feel comfortable, and couldn't figure out what was going on. And so he Googled a video. He was like, hey, like how to make your backpack more comfortable or something like that. And a video of mine popped up. And so he texted me. He was like, hey, like I was trying to figure out what was going on in my backpack, and Googled, and your video popped up. Right. And so I was like, well, why didn't you just call me? Like, I mean, like, like we're friends and all that kind of stuff, instead of like Googling. But so we ended up talking about it a little bit, and ended up what happening was he had bought the wrong size backpack and had no idea. Didn't even know backpacks had sizes, but had basically, I mean, I don't know what it was exactly, but it was, maybe he had a small backpack, but he's got a pretty long torso. Right. And so just try, and that is what it was, because he told me, he's like, so I watched your video and I tried to, find my iliac crest and all that kind of stuff. He's like, and I went to buckle the hip belt and it was like across my stomach. And I was like, what's going on? Why isn't this working? And I had to tell him, I was like, I think you may have bought the wrong backpack.
Right.
So you got a size small. It won't even reach down to your iliac crest.
Okay.
And so, yeah, backpacking size is not the same as t-shirt size.
So it took you years to learn to get your torso measured for a backpack, you're saying? That's a secret.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe it didn't take me years to learn that. I remember in the early days, I would just buy adjustable backpacks because, I mean, there's a certain amount where, especially when you're new to a hobby, maybe this is just me, I don't know, but you don't want to admit you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, I'm not an idiot.
I got this figured out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a back. How hard can a backpack be? You know? And so you try to like research and do stuff like that. And so I think what I did in the beginning was I would just buy adjustable backpacks and then I would just adjust them until they were comfortable.
Yeah.
But sometimes that would take, 4 or 5 trips, and I'm constantly adjusting them and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so,
That's
yeah,
fair.
like
That's
eventually like admitting, okay, I need someone to help me because you can't do it yourself. You can't measure your torso yourself. You gotta get someone to help you, or you gotta go to a gear shop and have them measure
and
it.
they'll do
stuff
it.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple thoughts I had. Yeah, so basically, like the takeaway is just like you've got to use the sizing chart, and I think a lot of things have sizing charts now. If you're buying like compression socks, there's typically like measure your calf. Like you got to measure everything to make sure you're dialing it in. So I think that's becoming more.
Which
standard.
I do hate doing that.
Yeah, it is annoying. You're right. You're right.
Like gotta go find like a soft tape measure. and
Right.
do all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I hate doing that.
I'm
I
with you. I'm with you.
I almost would rather ship it to me, figure out that it's wrong, and then ship it back.
Just
But
buy
then
3
that's pretty
sizes.
wasteful.
Find the right one.
There you go. Right. Yeah.
So the other thing, the other thought that I had was in terms of like torso length. I had this old buddy, and he was a pretty tall guy. I think he was like 6 foot tall. He married a woman, and he was like significantly taller than her.
Yeah.
But he had a short torso, and she had a really long torso. So when they sat next to each other on the couch, she like towered above him.
Yeah.
And so it looked really funny because like in reality, he's really tall. And so I just think that's like
Long legs.
Yeah, illustrates the need that he might, even though he's 6 feet, he's probably not a large backpack guy. He's probably medium. So okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, secret number 1. All right, next one we got. So this one, I think I'm going to get some pushback on. Don't buy a small ultralight pack unless you've been on at least 5 significant backpacking trips. Don't start with that. I know it's more expensive to buy a pack, use it for a while, and then buy another pack. But if you're buying like the tip top, the premium pack out the gate, you might have fit issues. More likely you're going to have issues where you can't fit your gear inside because you don't really know what to bring at that point. And you don't even really know what features you want in a pack because you haven't been backpacking yet. I think it takes at least 5 trips before you're like, okay, I actually do want to be able to reach my water bottle. Or I don't really care about that because I'm bringing a camelback like Steven, or whatever it is, right? So that's my advice.
So, I mean, backpacks can be pretty expensive. So, I mean, you spend $300 on like a big heavy backpack and then you realize, man, I'm carrying way too much weight.
Right.
So you think they need to go back and spend another $300 to...
It'll be like another $600, right?
I mean, I don't know.
The premium packs. Yeah. No, I think so. I think that.
Or would you suggest like people rent or borrow or what?
Yeah. So if you're talking like, we're not going to go down to like the how to make this more affordable. Like that's a different episode where we're talking about like how to make a budget. But yeah, you can buy used. Of course, you can borrow friends. Like typically, I'm lending out gear, and after a few trips, I'm like, all right, you borrowed this for a while. Like you should have an idea of what's going to work for you, what's not. And then of course you can always sell your pack, right? Like you can always sell it when you're done. You don't always have to buy new. But yeah.
Sell your smelly pack. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I did have a pack one time that I bought at a garage sale. I could not get the smell out of.
Oh, yeah?
I did toss it in the washing machine. That was the only thing that worked.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Is that a good idea, bad idea?
I mean, it seems like it could get torn up in the washing machine.
Correct.
But, yeah.
Correct. All right. That was my first one. What else you got? Number 2 for you.
Okay, so prioritizing sleep, I think, is a really big deal. And so, especially as you start getting more and more ultralight, the temptation is to focus so much on pack weight and be like, okay, like I just need, like a 3/4 inch foam pad and maybe just like a sheet, or something like that. I mean, maybe that's a little extreme, but sleep is really, really important. And especially, I mean, I don't know, you get out there, like I'm trying to prioritize like thicker and thicker mattresses, nice, comfortable quilts, that feel more like my bed at home, a pillow. Sometimes I bring 2 pillows, things like that.
Like a knee pillow?
Yeah. I like having a knee pillow. A lot of times I'll just like stuff my my puffy jacket into a stuffed sack or something like that, and I'll use that as the knee pillow. But I would definitely bring a pillow. Well, I do technically bring 2 pillows because I have an inflatable pillow, and those are not soft enough. And so then I have a down pillow on top of it that I put all in the same basically pillow case.
Okay.
And so then you got the softness of the down, but you have the firmness,
the thickness too.
Yeah, the thickness. Yeah, so you don't just like sink into it, when you're laying on it. So I think prioritizing sleep, even if it means carrying a little bit extra weight, I don't think that you will regret it.
Yeah, and I think one thing that people don't talk about with that is that not only do you feel refreshed the next day or whatever, I've noticed that since the pads have gotten better over the last few years, they've gotten thicker, they've gotten more like your mattress at home. I've noticed that I'm waking up like less sore the next day. So I'm actually fresher, like my muscles are fresher on the trail as well. Yeah. So that's a good one. Okay. All right. I'm curious what you think about this next one. So, because you typically go, you mentioned going with your daughter, but you typically go solo, would you say?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay.
I have a hard time getting people to come with me.
No, that's not true. That's not true, right?
It kind of is, only because like I'm going at weird times, like people are like, oh, I got to take off work, or I go in the middle of the week a lot, and so stuff like that.
So you're like, hey, I'm gonna go backpacking. Would you like to come with me? And they're like, no.
They do. They want to come. They just usually can't take the time off, or whatever the case may be. Or I'm filming something. I'm going some weird location to film something, and sometimes, you got to experience this a little bit yesterday. You were helping me film a video yesterday, and so when I'm doing my thing and you don't have anything to do, you're just kind of like basically just sitting there. And
I was engaged. I was actively helping at all times, folks. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so one of the most underrated times I think on a backpacking trip is the in-camp time after the day is done. So I think a lot of people kind of glorify it, like the morning coffee next to the lake, and then like how many miles you're doing over the day, the scenery you're going to encounter during the day. But I think that camp time is like very underrated. So I don't know if you're the guy who's going to like go get like the caveman TV and crash in the tent, or like dig into a book. But I think that if you're going with a group, so this is kind of group specific, I think that you need to be a contributor to that group. So that could involve a lot of things. That can involve like, bringing homemade brownies and passing them out in camp. That could be providing a camp game. I've tried to set up at least one activity per night on a trip, so that we have something that kind of like is just very galvanizing and just brings the group together. So like on our last Yosemite trip, so night one was Camp Jeopardy, and then we had night two was a picture contest where everybody had to like share their best picture from the day, and then you voted with like sticks and rocks and things like that. And then night three we had like a Bible kind of devotion time. So, but there was something every day which kind of brought the group together, and I think that helps. I think that helps make for like more of an epic trip. What do you think?
Yeah, usually we just sit around the campfire and just talk, but I think that could be fun, have nice activities, stuff like that.
I like the campfire talk. I do. Yeah. I feel like we're in a time period where there's like increasingly like that's not allowed.
That is true. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I actually can't remember the last time I had a campfire on a backpacking trip. So.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. But again, a lot of times I'm solo, and it just doesn't seem worth it when you're solo. So
to have a campfire by yourself?
Yeah.
It kind of invites other people over. I don't think you want them to come, but it does invite people.
Yeah, no. I'm usually in places that there's not other people. But
oh, okay. All right, adventurer. All right.
I'm a real deal.
Okay. So that didn't entice you to want to come on a group trip?
No, I'd come. Yeah. It sounds like fun.
That sounds real.
No, I really would.
Sure, one of these days. All right, I'm going to add him to the invite list. We'll see, folks. We'll see. All right. What's next on your list?
Okay, so I think preparing to get wet is really important, because most of the time, pretty much anywhere you go, you're going to have like a stream crossing. It's going to rain. There's going to be humidity, something, and so you just need to be prepared. Not just prepared like to have like the gear that you need, but just be prepared mentally that you're going to get wet. Still to this day, I hike with people, and we get to a stream crossing, and I'm just like, I'm just going through the stream crossing. Like my shoes are going to be wet. Everything's going to be fine. Right. And they're all over there going, oh, I don't know, should I take my boots off? Should I take my socks off? All that kind of stuff. And then we spend like 30 minutes. And
it is a long time.
And they're walking through the rocks, and that hurts their feet, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so and I was through the water, like 20 minutes ago,
Right.
Which is fine.
Just
like,
ditch
I don't mind.
him. Just keep going, man.
I don't mind. No, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't mind like waiting for other people, but there's a lot of anxiety and I don't know, like worry about getting even just your feet wet.
Yeah, because blisters.
Getting your shoes wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't struggle with blisters a whole lot. So
okay.
I think if you got really good shoes that are broken in, I don't know that you're gonna have a problem with that, but I could be wrong.
No, I don't. I think some people do. I've seen people struggle with that, where it's like whatever their foot system setup is, just kind of traps the water inside, or maybe they have just like the waterproof shoe. with the Gore-Tex where the water is just going to stay there for hours. But most shoes that don't have that are pretty like breathable and it will eventually evaporate. So
well, see, and that's the thing is I'm against Gore-Tex shoes.
Okay.
Which I didn't used to be. I used to think you needed to have them, and I would encourage people to spend extra money to get it. But I have since like turned over on that, and I've decided that you need breathable shoes that dry quickly. And within, I mean, like when I get my feet wet, within 10, 15 minutes, they are not fully dry, but they don't feel wet to me anymore
sloshing
on the trail. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
I'm with you on that one. I think that being prepared to get wet. So I think in your video, though, you were mentioning just like you have a whole system where it's like, okay, I'm wet. I got to camp. So I'm going to swap out a shirt. I'm going to swap out socks, I think you mentioned. And so I think bringing backup socks is important as well, just like when you get to camp. I will say, though, like dialing in the shirt system, like I only bring one shirt. So if you have, let's say you're wearing like a sun hoodie, if that got wet during the day, I'm going to, whether it's from like sweat or whether it's from rain, I'm going to take that off and put on a different layer, maybe my mid layer, and let that dry. So
I do the same thing. I don't bring two shirts.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that I bring two of really is socks.
Right.
And I will say with
underwear?
that system,
okay.
I just wear the same pair,
right.
and they stink mightily at the end of the
by the end. Gotcha.
But I will say the bad thing about that system is when you wake up in the morning. I did this actually just a couple weeks ago. I had a water crossing just before I got to camp, and I had to go back that way the next morning. And so my socks are wet, and it was early in the morning. Temperatures were cool, like low 50s or high 40s, something like that. And the first thing I had to do was I had to put on the wet socks,
which is hard to do.
It is
try to get it over
hard
your
to
heel.
do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, all right, I like that one. But preventative measure, kind of piggybacking, I have down. This causes major issues. Is bring a good rain jacket no matter what, which I think a lot of folks do. But here's the key. Make sure the rest of your group also has one. That's where I failed, where I assumed people had rain jackets and we had some like downpours. And I had one person like get so hypothermic, he was like ready to bail from the trip. And I think the rain let up just at the right time. But like I put it on the gear list, bring a rain jacket. Now, it's not going to prevent you from getting entirely, it's not going to keep you dry entirely, but his jacket was, I think, I don't even think it was water resistant. So it just soaked through immediately. And so he was soaked for a long period of time. And yeah, so I'm a big proponent of the rain jacket.
So I've got a story similar to that.
All right.
So I used to do a lot of backpacking with teenagers, groups of teenagers, about like 10 to 15 teenagers at a time.
Bless you for that. That's crazy. That is crazy.
It is crazy, but it was a lot of fun too.
Right.
And so I would do the same thing. Like I would give them a list because a lot of them had never gone before. I'd give them a list,
right.
And then I would make them come and show me everything on the list. It'd be like show me your rain jacket, show me your backpack, show me all this stuff to make sure that we were going to be safe.
Right.
And I had this one kid. I can't remember what happened. When we did the shakedown, he didn't have a rain jacket. So I was like, you need to get a rain jacket. And he's like, I will. I'm going to get one. And so we end up on the trip, and I forgot all about it. I'm like, oh, dude, did you ever get that rain jacket? And he's like, yeah, I got it. And he pulls out like a flannel jacket. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, this is my rain jacket. And I'm like, what on earth makes you think that's a rain jacket? And he pulls it off, and it had a silk lining.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this kid thought that silk lining
was waterproof.
Was going to be, he's like, yeah, look, it's going to keep me from getting wet. And I'm like, that's not going to keep you from getting wet. And so then the whole rest of the trip, I'm like worried about this kid. Because we're like on the trip. So I'm like, if it rains, what's this kid going to do? But of course, I always had really big, contractor trash bags and stuff like that. And so we would have been able to figure it out. But
it makes sense to be like, all right, gear shakedown, show me this, show me this, show me this. Are you going to do that with adults though? Really?
No, probably not.
Okay.
But I'll say to them hey, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
I don't mind loaning you stuff, all that kind of stuff. If you have any question about anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You need to borrow some gear?
Well, I feel like I lend gear out, but that really means I'm just giving the gear away. When I lend the gear, it's just really it's when you lend something, you have to be prepared to not to get that back. So
I mean, you gotta be on it. Be like, hey, I need that back.
Okay.
Unless you don't really need it back. And so, I mean, I guess if you're expecting that, then I'm gonna loan you something that I'm like, I don't want that anymore.
I could use a Zpacks duplex. You have one of those?
I think I got a duplex. Yeah.
Did you lend out?
I'm gonna need it back.
Okay. I will say with the guy that I'm talking about, he was notorious for that. So I think that was one of his last trips. But had he come on future trips, I would have done the shakedown just with him at the trailhead. And if he was missing anything, I'd have been like, all right, we're going back to town. We're gonna go grab it and make a big deal about it because I was so frustrated every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so different story. So, all right, yeah, one more.
Yeah, I've got one more.
Okay.
So I don't really do this much anymore, but early days I would sort all my gear whenever I get back.
Okay.
And so like I would come back and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to make 2 piles of gear, stuff that I used and stuff that I didn't use.
Right.
And so then I would look and I would see all this, there's usually a pretty good pile of things that I didn't use. And so then I would have to ask myself, like, do I really need this on a trip? And so then I'd have to make that tough decision before the next time I go. Like, should I really bring the big Bowie knife, or should I really bring? And that one's kind of cliche, but I can't remember what they were. Did I really need the Camelback? Did I really need whatever the case may be?
You had in your video you had like a trophy.
I did, yeah. I'm proud of that trophy.
Did you bring a trophy backpacking?
Yeah, I showed it to people. They're like, hey, Pinewood Derby, 1993.
Was that what that was?
Yeah, it was. I think I may have the trophy. Yeah,
it's right there.
It's right there.
I was like, all right. People bring some weird stuff. I don't know if that's making anyway.
Yeah, no, that was a joke.
Okay.
That was a little Easter egg.
Right.
So.
Easter egg. Yeah. So, rain jacket. Like, it didn't rain that trip. So you're like, I didn't use it.
Yeah, so that's part of the hard decision. So you got to be like, okay, I didn't use it on this trip, but I do need it. First aid kit is one that falls into that category a lot. Like, hardly ever use a first aid kit.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just safe. I don't know. But
I'm safer than everybody out there.
But I take it every single trip, but I don't use it, and so, but it always goes back in the pack. And then the other thing that goes along with that. So I did a video just recently where I didn't have any gear, and I just had other people give them my credit card, and I was like, hey, what would you buy if I got to go tomorrow? So like buy me the gear on my on my credit card, and that was kind of an interesting trip because I didn't get all the things that I typically would bring on a trip. And so I had to go without some of those things. And so then I had to think, okay, like what do I need just to be like bare minimum safe based on this gear?
Right.
And so I was able to go with a lot less than I normally would take, and everything was fine. And I think that that's also something you can learn from like going ultralight is if you're not typically an ultralight person, if you push yourself to go ultralight, you can kind of gain some more confidence to be like, oh, like I don't need a lot of the things that I typically bring. And I can still be fine with, like the skills and the knowledge and stuff like that I have. So
okay. So you're saying it's a really good learning experience to give somebody else your credit card and have them buy your gear for you.
It is.
Okay.
But
so
I think
you're challenging me on the backpack thing, and you're like, well, just buy a whole new setup.
You really do. You need to give somebody your credit card.
Just buy it just from scratch. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you mentioned like, what's the minimum gear I need to bring to be safe? But then there's also like the luxury items and the things that make your trip more enjoyable. So you're safe. Were you able to have as good a time though?
I mean, I had a good time. Yeah,
okay.
I enjoyed it. Of course, I was only out for one night, so that's a little bit different. My wife has a saying where she says, I can do anything for 24 hours. And so, and a lot of that, she says it a lot whenever we forget something, like on a camping trip or a family trip or something like that. She'll be like, yeah, I can do anything for 24 hours. Like, we'll be fine.
Okay.
And so maybe there's part of that there, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I had a great time. It was good. Right. Temperatures were good. There was a few things I was worried about, but it all worked out.
You made it work. Okay. So, all right. Good deal. Okay. My last one is, let's see here. Let's circle back to the whole pack thing. So I think this is a big deal. I think obviously if you get a pack that works for you, that's going to change the way that you appreciate and enjoy the backpacking trip. One of the biggest mistakes that I made, I think I made this mistake for years, was I'm looking for a new pack. I'm going to go to an outdoor store. I'm going to get measured. I'm going to make sure that's dialed in. I'm going to put their sandbags in the pack. I'm going to walk around that store shopping or fake shopping for like 10 minutes. If it still feels good, walk on that flat, smooth ground, like it's probably going to be good enough when I take it out backpacking. And that is not the case, like not even close to the case. So I think the solution is, like maybe it's going to work, you just don't know, is go to a store that has a really good return policy and then take it out for a full day on the trail. Maybe not a backpacking trip, but just like day hike with it. Put actual things in your pack that you would, put in there, whether it's your sleeping bag, the water, all that stuff, so that it actually like mimics the weight. And that's what determines whether it's actually a fit or not. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck and you're like, a couple hours, you're like, this is not as comfortable. It's rubbing me the wrong way, or I'm chafing over here. And so, I think it's almost, it's like a good starting spot. I would test it out quite extensively. What do you think on that one?
Yeah, I think that's probably really good advice. The good return policy obviously is something that you need, but I think that limits the gear that you can have.
It does.
Because I'm sitting there thinking about that, and the only gear store that I know that has that good of a return policy that you can return it after you've used it is REI.
Right.
And the number of packs that you can pick at REI are going to be limited compared to what's available out there. And so I think that you're going to limit yourself a little bit doing that. But then also, I mean, like I've used quite a few packs, and very rarely do I find a pack that I'm just like, I can't make it work, as long as you have that torso measurement, as long as you know that torso measurement really well. Right. Then, like, okay, I know that for sure I am a 20-inch torso. Then I get a pack that's measured for a 20-inch torso. Usually I can make it work, and it's pretty comfortable. Okay. It's a rare instance when I get a pack that I'm just like, something's wrong with this pack.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I think I am pickier, to be honest, with packs. I don't think I'm alone with that either. One thing I will say is that if you do want to buy like a cottage industry pack, some of those companies actually do have a really good return policy, but you got to pay for it. So like Zpacks, for example, I think it's costs like $30-$40, gives you the ability to try it out and still return it and send it back. So there are still companies that will kind of like help with that. So if you have like a Steven budget, we're just like throwing credit cards around, like maybe that's a solution for you. So
do your research first. Do your research. Make sure everything's going to be good. Okay. Beg, borrow, steal, something like that.
Okay. Those are 8 secrets that are now not so secret, that hopefully at least 1 or 2 of those was helpful. What have you learned? Please leave in the comment, like, what do we miss? What's something that's really been helpful that's maybe not so obvious?
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Summer is here, which means we all want to look and feel our best. A GLP-1 may be right for you. Visit orderlymeds.com to learn more about which GLP-1 you could be eligible for. Getting started is fast, easy, and happens virtually through telemedicine from licensed professionals. Check it out for yourself. Go to orderlymeds.com/podcast. That's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Taking care of yourself feels great. Compounded medications are not FDA approved. Eligibility required and determined by a licensed provider. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
All right, I've got my summit question coming up for you. Okay. So this is going to be like, this is like our number 1 question for the episode. So this answer is brought to you by Summit Something. If you're still bringing a beat-up cardboard sign to the summit, it's time to upgrade your gear list with Summit Something's Ultralight packable summit flags designed for hikers and climbers who want to capture the moment and keep it forever. These summit flags feature clean, iconic designs of the peaks you've climbed for epic summit photos, and it's a keepsake to hang on your wall for when you get home. If you've got a big climb coming up, grab your summit flag at summitsomething.com. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Steven, it's time. I got 4 suggestions for you. Okay. YouTube videos that I think you should make.
I'm needing this.
Okay,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Any ideas?
Yeah, I need some ideas.
Okay, so I want you to evaluate. We're going to go one at a time. Okay. Evaluate each one. So this could be something that you're like absolutely not plausible, or like I'm adding that to the list.
These better be good.
Ooh, okay. I don't know if I can't guarantee that. I can guarantee they're creative though. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to start with one that I've actually pitched to you before. When we first met, this is a few years ago, I'm trying to remember. And you gave me like that's a good idea. Yeah, I think that's as far as it went.
I never made the video.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay,
it must not have been a good idea. I must have been lying.
We're gonna find out. Well, we were just talking, so you just forgot to write it down. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. I tested gear prototypes from big companies that never made it to market.
Oh, I actually do think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would. I mean, so there'd be a problem with getting the gear companies to go along with it. And so, because I mean, if they didn't send it to market for whatever reason, they might not want it to be out there, or maybe they're thinking they're going to put it out later or something like that. So they want people to know about it. So I'd have to have a pretty good relationship with the brand. Right. But yeah, get a prototype that didn't work and then take it out and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, like I see why this didn't work, or like, I don't know, like maybe they should have. Right. Maybe they should have put this out. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I can see that being a good video.
Like I actually made this into a podcast episode where I didn't test it out. I just like asked them like, hey, is there any gear that you made that you thought was gonna be a big thing and never made it to market? So like I talked to MSR, for example, and they're like, oh yeah, we had this stove that uses like different kind of fuel and we thought it would work this way and it just didn't quite work under these conditions. They still have the stove though, like so you could just be like, hey, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But you're like, well, I'm going to try this and see if this is worth bringing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, I went backpacking with only failed gear. can see that being the title, something like
Go.
that.
See, you can zhuzh it up a little bit, right?
Yeah. You gotta give a little bit of pizzazz to it.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna count this one as plausible. You're saying?
Yeah,
All right.
plausible.
You're not all in on it, but it might happen. Okay.
Yeah, you help me make it work. Help me make it come to reality. I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, you go to these trade shows, like you're literally meeting with the folks that like are making this gear, so you can kind of like knock out all these agreements. And if you talk to 10 companies and like 5 of them actually follow through, I think that's good enough for a video, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can make it work.
Okay. All right.
I like it.
Thank you. Number 2. I went on a backpacking and blisters circus backpacking trip and gave 5 pieces of critical feedback.
What is this? What is the circus backpacking
Like
trip?
every time we go to circus, every
It's a
time
circus,
we get like.
But you don't call it a circus. You're just calling it a circus right now.
I call it circus. Like
Okay.
there's circus things that are happening behind the scenes, people ducking in, people ducking out, curveballs thrown. Oh, by the way, this trail's closed you're planning to take. There's all sorts of crazy stuff that happens. And then, of course, the things we're actually doing in the trip, they're usually some pretty silly things. Like I'm not going to reveal it right now, but we had a guy on our trip who'd never been before. He was a YouTuber. He came on our last trip to Yosemite, and there was a moment for him where he's like, what is happening right now? He's looking around like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, what is happening? This has never happened on a backpacking trip. So that's why I call it a circus. And there's typically like 10 plus people. So it's a big group.
So the premise of this video is I crash a backpacking trip as the cocky jerk that's going to tell you everything you're doing wrong. Is that the premise of the
Just
video?
5 things you're doing wrong. Just
Five things. Like, all right, this is what you're doing wrong, and you better stop that right now.
I mean, you could do it on the spot, I suppose. Our whole podcast is based upon all the things we mess up doing, so it wouldn't be off brand for us to have somebody actually just like correct us.
Yeah, no, I don't think this one's plausible.
No!
I don't think I'd do that.
My theory is it's not because of the idea. It's just because you don't want to go on this trip. You're now afraid of the circus trip.
It is true. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's true.
All right. Thumbs down on that one. Number 3, I tested 10 overpacked hikers on the trail. Can they find their headlamp in under a minute?
Interesting. And so just stop people and be like, "Where's your headlamp?"
I think you gotta like build some rapport before you do it that way.
Where's your headlamp? Get it out right now.
Okay, the keys
Took you 5 minutes to find that headlamp. Sun's going down.
The key is that they're overpacked, right? And the key to being overpacked is not just that you're carrying a lot of extra weight. My whole thing is like, it's super annoying to have a million items. You're like trying to find something and cycle through things. Like, do you even know where your gear is, right? So, like, you could maybe like say, hey, if you don't recognize me, I'm Steven. I'm a YouTuber. I'm making a video about people that are overpacked. Your pack appears to be egregiously overweight, so you qualify. Would you like to be in a video?
So are all the ideas about how I'm being a cocky jerk that's just telling people what they're doing wrong?
I think I would do this. I would
do
totally
this.
do
Okay,
yeah.
so I actually have an idea that's similar to this.
Okay.
I've never done this before. I've never been a part of this, but to my understanding, that whenever you go to through hike the AT, they have like a shakedown area,
right,
where I think it's voluntary. Like you don't have to go in, but you can go in and be like, okay, like here's my pack. Tell me, do I really need all this stuff, whatever. And so like you lay it all out on the table. I would love to do that, like help people, like, okay, like show me everything you got, and be like, do you really need 5 books, or do you really need, whatever the case may be, just like looking at all the stuff and being like, do you think you need the hand crank radio,
right.
backpacking trailer, or the barbecue grill grate that you're gonna cook over the fire with the fire band going?
Okay,
like that would be
that's
that would
a
be
nicer
fun
version. That's less interesting.
Yeah, so instead it's not like, hey, like you don't need this. It would be like, do you really need this? Like, tell me the scenario where you need this or whatever it is, and just kind of getting them to think through it themselves and be like, oh, like maybe I don't need to take all this stuff. And
I actually did that as a podcast episode, by the way. I had people do it remotely, and they had to like kind of spread out their gear. I didn't do very well. They were like pulling one thing out at a time. It was kind of clunky. So, and then I had people that were like purposely putting in ridiculous things just to get a reaction. And then people that were already so dialed in, they actually didn't need any help. So that didn't work out so well. So I think if you can like identify, say, okay, this person looks like they're overpacked. They probably have stuff in there. If you could identify them and then build that rapport and do it, I think that would work.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
But the key with the headlamp thing is like they can prove you wrong. So maybe they're overpacked, but they're like highly organized. So maybe they're like, boom, right here. Yeah, I got it. Or it's in my pocket or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so they could. That's part of the fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, how quickly do you realistically need to pull out your headlamp, though?
It's just it could be something else, like your first aid kit, whatever, like some smaller item that could be
water filter. I think is something you need to have readily accessible.
Okay, there you go. You can change it. You can change the idea.
How fast can you find your water filter?
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm interested in: is do you have the ability to be able to meet folks out on the trail, build that rapport, and then film them within a span of 5-10 minutes. Like, can you do that?
I mean, yeah, I think I could do that,
Okay.
but I don't know. It's the switching between, can I tell you what you're doing wrong? I don't know. That's a weird transition to me, to be like, hey, like, oh yeah, like we've struck up this conversation. Now we're being friends, and now you're really so taking all this stuff. I mean, come on, Joey.
Yeah.
Like, I know I just met you, but do you really need? I don't know. That's the weird part to me is making that transition to.
You don't want to be critical. You're more of like a yes man kind of guy.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got one more for you.
All right.
Okay. This video I would just call backpacking and blisters.
Okay.
What is the absolute best way to handle a blister in the field while allowing it to heal the fastest? So you're gonna have. So here's the issue is that in order to like really test this, you've got to actually manufacture like blisters on yourself to really figure this out.
Okay.
So is it like the old school moleskin where if you actually do the moleskin correctly, which we've been recently reprimanded about like why we weren't talking about moleskin correctly, but let's say you actually do it correctly, is that going to work because it's going to allow airflow, it's going to allow it to heal? Is it just like the Leuco tape? Like what is the absolute best way which is going to allow it to heal the fastest?
It's going to allow it to heal the fastest?
And like prevent pain so you can continue on your backpacking trip.
Yeah. And so this is the video. You're not asking me this question.
No, I'm just saying like you're testing out because you're kind of like very science based. So this is something you could test out all the methods. And so like here is the best method. Here's the lightest weight method, whatever.
I don't know. I could see this being a video. Like what you'd have to do is you'd have to get several people that would be willing to participate, go and I don't know, maybe like pour shoes or something like that, get blisters, and then be like, okay, now we're treating you with moleskin, we're treating you with duct tape, we're treating you with a second skin, we're treating you with whatever, and then just figure out whatever the case may be. Right. Like so, like I know what I think is the best thing to make the hike get done, but I don't know if it's the best thing for the blister itself.
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, I can see that being a good video.
I mean, you could be on a long trail, like in the middle of a long trail, and just kind of same thing, like build that rapport. Be like, hey, do you have any blisters? Would you be willing to test out this method over the next 10 miles or whatever it is, next day?
Yeah, so I mean, probably the best way to do it would be to get several people to agree, like at the beginning of the summer, let them do their trips over the summer, and then like have them report back, hey, I got a blister. If you get a blister, this is what you need to do.
Right.
And then, like I don't know, keep logs and maybe even like do some video on your phone or something like that.
Right.
That might be the best way to do it.
Could you see yourself showing up with a clipboard to like the terminus of one of the long trails? Yeah, lab coat. Be like, all right, folks.
Show me your blisters.
Looking for some subjects here and taking notes that way.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So plausible. Plausible.
Yeah, plausible. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. So I got 2 plausibles. I'll take it. All right. We got Stephen going through the lightning round coming up right after this.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least 1 discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Summer is here, which means we all want to look and feel our best. A GLP-1 may be right for you. Visit orderlymeds.com to learn more about which GLP-1 you could be eligible for. Getting started is fast, easy, and happens virtually through telemedicine from licensed professionals. Check it out for yourself. Go to orderlymeds.com/podcast. That's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Taking care of yourself feels great. Compounded medications are not FDA approved. Eligibility required and determined by a licensed provider. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
Lightning Round is brought to you by Magnet Designs. Handmade to order in Bend, Oregon, Magnet Designs gives you the most vetted backpacking products with the smallest environmental footprint. Through hiker design, tested, built, and owned, check out the Alpha 90 hoodie, their best-selling product using Polar Tech Alpha Direct fabric. It's ultralight, compressible, hydrophobic, breathable, quick drying, and just 4.5 ounces. Google Magnet Designs for the best backpacking gear. All right, my friend, I think, let's see, your friend Justin Outdoors has the most ever, 13.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And then...
he's a real deal.
Yeah, I think Jesse got 12 or 13 as well. So just...
Okay. Are these the same questions?
No, that's why it's not apples to apples.
So you're going softball on Justin and Jesse.
Justin's locked in. He's like, I don't even know if my answer's good. I don't even care. I'm just going to answer it, and we're moving on. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. I got some hard questions in here. I'll be honest. This will be tough. All right. You got 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. The timer starts after I ask the first question. Here we go. When was the last time you shaved your beard?
20 years ago.
Favorite childhood TV show?
He-Man.
Favorite sock brand?
Right sock.
A food that tastes like soap?
Cilantro.
A weird thing you've done on the trail?
Clip my toenails.
A place you never want to visit?
Bangladesh. yeah, you're cutting into my time.
I'll add extra time. That's awesome. That's such a ridiculous answer. It's so ridiculous. Okay. The most plausible conspiracy theory out there.
Chemtrails. I don't believe that, but it's just the one that came to my mind.
A celebrity you'd like to go backpacking with?
Justin from Justin Outdoors.
A recent nightmare you've had?
My family in a car wreck.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to go fast.
Something unexpected in your backpack?
A rock.
You got the best answer so far. Are you for or against a bidet?
Against.
And time. Okay, I'll give you an extra 27 seconds. Is that enough time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You tied Justin. You tied Justin. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so now I got to say, I don't know anything about Bangladesh. It's just the thing that came to my mind. I have no idea if I want to visit there or not.
Yeah.
But you said it, and I was like, okay, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I
also don't think chemtrails are real, but that was the only conspiracy theory that came to my mind.
Chemtrails?
Actually, chemtrails are real. They're just not the way that people think they are.
What is that? I don't know.
So chemtrails are like the lines that come behind airplanes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so people think that the government or I don't know secret societies or something like that are putting chemicals in those planes. And so when you see the lines come behind them, that those are chemicals that are designed to make us sick and make us keep going to doctors and things like that.
Okay.
And so, or people think that they are weather modifying things, which that is real. Like people really do that. It just doesn't do it the way that people think.
Like
that it
cloud
works.
seeding, you're talking about?
Yeah, cloud seeding. Okay. Cloud seeding could be considered a chemtrail, and that is real. People do that, but cloud seeding is only going to work if there's enough moisture in the air for it to work, and you can actually overseed a cloud to the point that it won't work. I got a video that touches on this lightly.
Are you so next level at this lightning round that you're like, not only am I going to answer questions, I'm going to figure out how to work in talking about one of my videos with the questions?
No, I'm not that. Okay. I'm not that next level. Okay. It was the only conspiracy theory that I could think of at the moment.
Okay, fair enough.
I do not believe that it's real, but it's what I said to get past the timer.
Have you not? Okay, different question. Have you not gone backpacking with Justin?
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I've gone.
You want to go back? You want to go again?
Yeah, I just couldn't think of a celebrity at the time. So
fair enough. All right. Let's see. And then last one I have, the follow-up is, real quick, the soap thing with cilantro, like we were out to lunch yesterday. I didn't even know it was a thing that people taste soap with cilantro. I asked my wife, she knew it, and I would guess I'm just ignorant. But anyway, that's where that question came from. But why is there a rock in your pack?
Because I have another video that you can go watch.
Again, not intentionally trying to answer in such a way.
So I have a video where I was hiking with Dan Becker. It's the first time that I ever met Dan Becker in person. And we went on a backpacking trip together.
So he's a real person then?
He is.
Okay.
He's legit. Right. And we went backpacking in Big Bend National Park, and he had just done a video about drinking the tears of ultralighters or something like that was his video. Okay. Where he's basically making fun of people that... Right. I don't know that he was making fun, but playfully making fun of people that go ultralight. Right. And I was really into ultralight at the time. And so I was like, I'm going to get him back. And so we went on this backpacking trip, and we were on we were dry camping, I should say. And so we had to carry all of our water, and it was I don't know, like 20, 30 pounds of water that we were having to carry on this trip. And so I was sneaking my water bottles into Dan's pack over the course of the video. And then so he would be carrying it for me, and he wouldn't realize. Right. And I think we got to camp at one point. He was like, why do I have so many water bottles? And he was carrying my water. And I titled the video, Drinking the Tears of Dan Becker. So
I don't want to go backpacking with you anymore. Like, I would like to rescind my earlier offer about coming and crashing one of our circus trips. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So I say that to say that I worry that Dan is going to retaliate at some point and put a rock in my pack.
I've already had that. I've been on a Patreon trip where people are just shoving rocks in my pack left and right.
Are they really?
They were, yeah. And I was like,
see?
finally,
It's a legitimate fear.
Finally, I was like, yeah, like funny things aside, like let's not do this anymore. So
did you set up a safe word
for that?
Yeah,
for rocks.
Like spaghetti. Like spaghetti. Stop, guys.
Enough of this. All right. So speaking of your videos, what can we look forward to coming up on your YouTube channel?
I've got a really exciting video that I've been working on for a long time, and it has nothing to do with backpacking, but I'll tease it a little bit and see if people are interested. So earlier in this year, I bought a 40-year-old 4x4 van that was imported from Japan, and I'm converting it into a camper, and I'm converting it to run on alternative fuels because gas is so expensive right now.
Like biofuel kind of stuff, or like what?
Yeah,
okay.
Run off of waste vegetable oil.
Where are you gonna get the vegetable oil?
McDonald's.
Like they'll just give it out, right?
Yeah, because they're just throwing it away.
Right.
You know.
Like, so wait, are you
Chinese restaurants?
Okay. Are you asking for the oil, or are you going into their dumpster and getting it?
I'm gonna ask them if I can go into their dumpster and get it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like go back.
You're gonna dive in their dumpster. Okay, like
come out covered in grease.
Don't you think that of the dumpsters out there, the McDonald's one has got to be one of the worst ones?
Probably.
Like the grossest one. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, typically those places have like a grease trap or whatever, you know. That
right.
like dedicated to the used grease and stuff like that. And they have companies that come and pick it up. And so I'm just gonna ask them if I can have it.
Okay.
Filtered a little bit, throw it in my van, and I'm gonna drive 1,000 miles. So 1,000 miles in a 40-year-old van imported from Japan on waste vegetable oils.
Where are you going to?
So the plan right now is to drive it from Death Valley to Pikes Peak. So the lowest point in the country to the highest.
Okay. To Mount Whitney then?
Well, to the highest road.
Oh, to the highest road. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually not the highest road, but it's pretty close.
Okay.
So people know about Pikes Peak. When you say, what is it? Is it Mount Blue Sky? I think is the actual highest road in the United States.
Okay.
No, actually, I think there is one in California, which I think it's like maybe 100 miles away, and so that's not.
It's not as interesting.
Not as interesting.
Yeah.
So 1,000 miles.
Okay. Are you gonna like load the biofuel onto the van like up front, or as you're going, you're like, McDonald's over there, let's stop and grab some.
We're running out of gas. Let's go stop at that Chinese restaurant and see if we can get some more vegetable oil.
Yeah, is that what you're doing?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I'm in on this one.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And it's like a 1986 Japanese van.
It's a 1989 Mitsubishi Delica.
Okay.
Drives on the right hand side.
Okay.
And so it's super interesting.
The right hand side.
Yeah, it's up in my garage. I'll show it to you when we get done if you want.
Yeah, I want to check that out. That's really cool. Okay. Yeah. All right. That is highly interesting. All right. I'm excited for that one. Steven, man, a pleasure and honor to have you on the show. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
It's been fun.
Please subscribe to learn more backpacking secrets that maybe aren't so secret anymore. And remember, folks, learn from those terrible experiences with skunks because they stink. Have a good week and God bless.
I want to fly around the world.
Summer is here, which means we all want to look and feel our best. A GLP-1 may be right for you. Visit orderlymeds.com to learn more about which GLP-1 you could be eligible for. Getting started is fast, easy, and happens virtually through telemedicine from licensed professionals. Check it out for yourself. Go to orderlymeds.com/podcast. That's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Taking care of yourself feels great. Compounded medications are not FDA approved. Eligibility required and determined by a licensed provider. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.